Hi everyone, welcome back to I Wish I Knew. I'm Isabel.
And I'm Davis.
And today we have a very special guest with us. Her name is Angie. Do you want to tell us what this
This podcast is going to be diving into the world of sports. We're going to talk about time management. We're going to talk about our love for sports.
Yeah.
And just how to have a great athletic experience in high school.
Yeah. So let's introduce Angie. So welcome. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Hi, so I'm Angie, obviously, as you already said. I'm a junior and I run.
Yeah. Cross country, track, all of them.
Yep, all of them. I did a lot of sports growing up, so I kind of narrowed it down to running, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What made you want to pick running to be the top one?
Well, it was more like I used to run with my dad a lot, so I kind of just stuck with that. Like running with my dad. So I was like, all right, let's just do running. So yeah, I've been doing cross country since I was in 6th grade. So.
Whoa.
Wow, that's a long time.
I know.
Would you say because your family or your dad, you had that connection with him, it made you love the sport even more?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, it was the one he mostly pushed me into, which was kind of like, okay, then I guess I'll just start running. But no, I liked it.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's really cool. So what do you think this sport teaches you? What do you think over the years, what it's taught you?
It's definitely taught me how to work with other people, because I feel like when people think of cross country, it's like individual sport, like you do you and you race, but really it's like you and your team are working together in order to, get the least amount of points you can during a meet. So,
right.
Teamwork. And I think captains are really important people, in the team, because, they also teach you a lot of things. They have a lot of skill, and they've been in the team longer, so, I don't know.
Yeah, as a fellow cross-country athlete myself, I think it's a great sport, but I also have some, maybe some little not likings of the sport, some things that I don't like about it. So I want to ask you, what is your least favorite part about your sport, running?
Can I say everything?
Yes, maybe.
No, I don't know. The practices can be fun, but I guess when you're actually doing those hard workouts, it can be very maddening, because it's like, I don't want to do this right now. But
right.
I mean, my least favorite part is being at the starting line at a race. That's always I don't like doing that, because every time I'm at the starting line, I'm always like, why am I here? Why do I do this sport?
I felt
there's a million thoughts going through your head, and it's just
absolutely
very nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
But
I bet you hate starting, but then you love that feeling when you cross the finish line. It's a high and low. I mean, I'm not a runner, so
no, yeah.
But I know
my least favorite part is also my favorite part. I think the grind, or the hard work that hurts, ends up being very rewarding, and it's also my favorite part. So that's kind of an interesting about running.
Yeah.
I've found.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah.
So Angie, other than sports, what activities keep you busy in school? So are you in any clubs? Do you take care of your younger siblings, I know, or do you maybe have a job?
Yeah, so I am. Well, I'm in podcast club,
Yeah.
And I know I did S2S last year, which is actually kind of fun. I don't know why I didn't do it this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, not really. I babysit for a family up the street, so she needs me a lot. So
yeah,
I'm definitely balancing babysitting her kids with my schoolwork, but then also kind of babysitting my little younger brothers. So it can be very hard, and there's definitely been nights where I go to bed and I'm like, I still have these 3 assignments to finish up, so let me do that.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's fun to, I don't know, it's just kind of fun to
and then I bet there's little pockets of moments, I know for me, on the ride to like a game or like on the bus ride, you can do some productive things. No, not
No,
really.
I couldn't imagine doing homework on the ride to a game. No, that's smart though.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I've only done that like once, like doing homework on the bus, but other than that, I can't. Like, it's
Right. So, what are some of your strategies to help balance this pretty hectic lifestyle?
I definitely. So I'm someone that likes to get things done, like right away. So like
Mm,
Fridays are always like such bad days because I pile everything up until that night, and like because I hate having homework over the weekend. But throughout the week, I kind of just focus on like the hardest things that I need to focus on. So like let's say like I had an essay that's due, like tomorrow or something. I'll definitely spend a lot of my time on that assignment and kind of work my way through the other ones. But
Yeah.
honestly, it's just you need to learn how to balance a lot of things. Like yes, you want to go do this because it sounds like fun, but also like think about what is going to really impact your future.
Yeah. I think an important part of that is like prioritizing. Like, I know we get a little bit, like a lot of smaller, like busy work throughout the week, and I find it easier to just like cut it like straight to the point, like do it as soon as possible so that, like you said, um, so it doesn't pile up on Friday. So I think I struggle with that, like procrastinating a lot. Um,
yeah, I think something I do um, is definitely like you said, Angie. Just get it done right away as best you can. Don't try to push it back, which is very hard at times, I
Easier
would
said than
say,
done.
because you love to
Yeah,
take that quick break before you do that assignment
Yeah.
that turns into a little longer than you're supposed to be
Yeah.
taking. But
exactly.
I think some motivation in terms of academics is simply put at O'Neill, if you don't have good grades, you can't play your sport.
Yeah.
So if you have a love for your sport, then your academics have to come first in order to actually play that sport. And so I think that's where a lot of people get caught up. But if you want to play that sport, if you really love it, then you'll make sacrifices in order to do that. And that comes with
Yeah, like it's a student athlete, Like,
Yeah.
it's the classic saying,
yeah.
student
The cheesy-
before athlete. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me
So,
wrong.
what were you going to say, Angie? Sorry.
I say, don't get me wrong. I do procrastinate on some assignments that, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't really want to do this, but I do get those done on time. I do get those in, And it's
Yeah.
not like, I feel like most athletes, like, say, like, they have, like, a hard practice. They don't really want to do their homework or, like, their schoolwork or study. But, once you get that over with, then you can do whatever you want,
Yeah.
Exactly. You can go dribble a basketball or go run a couple more miles or So I think this is something that we all can answer. Is it worth it being a student athlete given that you have more activities on the plate and maybe more stress in your life?
Yeah.
So Angie, we'll start with you.
Honestly, I do think it's worth it. Even though, like, at the time it might seem like it's really hard and, like, I feel like a lot of it is mentally. A lot of being an athlete and being a student comes mentally, and I know it's very hard for a lot of teenagers because some of us do struggle with mental health, and some of them, they might feel like it's not worth it. But I think, going into college and having colleges kind of look at everything and,
Yeah.
maybe future, like, I don't know, jobs or something. And if they look at that, they're like, wow, they did that, and that's really hard to manage. And, they might think of you not, like, better than other people, but, like, give you props. Like, oh, good job, you did that. Like, maybe
Yeah.
you can come into our program because we know that you can manage, like, athletics and academics. And that's
Yeah.
really good.
I would also have to say yes, because there's just like there's highs and lows to everything, but I feel like the highs in sports really make up for the lows, because when you win that game, like when you have a good practice or like that sore feeling, I know like a lot of people don't like it, but it's just like a testament to like how hard you worked, and I think it can be really rewarding. So my answer is yes. What about you, Davis?
Oh, please. It's an absolute yes for me, just because sports are a blast, and I'm not going to be a professional athlete. So I think your high school sports are usually what you're going to get. So I think you should try to use those years of your life, and especially at O'Neill, where the sports are very easily accessible. Um, I think you should absolutely play a sport, and I think it's absolutely worth it.
Hmm.
And you learn a lot about yourself in doing so.
That's
Yeah.
true. I mean, you also make like a lot of friends doing that too, you know?
Yeah.
You always have those people that you can trust that are like in your sports group, which is really nice to have.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the playing a sport definitely improves your high school experience, in my opinion. I think
Oh, yeah.
it's been very beneficial.
Hmm.
All right, Angie. Um, I have some myself, but what are some crazy experiences you have had playing a sport that has been notable to your high school experience? Maybe a fun story or memory you want to share.
Ooh. I don't know. Pasta parties for cross country are always so much fun. They're always like, I don't know, it feels like you're like a big family kind of, but you know, there's been a
Yeah.
lot of house like pasta parties where I'm like, dang, that was remember like I can remember that for the rest of my life, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that, and then just like feeling like at the end of the race and like knowing that your team did well. That's like sections and like
Hmm.
you know counties, but yeah, I don't know. There's a lot
Yeah.
of things.
Absolutely. My favorite memory is probably going to States last year when the cross country team, we went up to Plattsburgh, and it was freezing cold and it was snowing, and we had like the biggest meet of the year the next morning, but we still stayed up till like past midnight in the hotel room with all the guys. So I
What?
think that was, yeah, and we didn't do too hot the next day, but we don't talk about that. But I think that was such a fun memory, just staying in a hotel with my teammates. And I don't think you will have that experience, obviously, if I didn't play the sport. I think a lot of
Yeah.
like unique experiences like that can come out of playing sports at O'Neill, and you never know what's going to happen. And you go to cool places, you see cool things, you meet really cool people, and all in competition. And like you do, and if you really love your sport, then there's nothing better than that. I mean, it's something you can really enjoy.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. It's like every day is just something new, and you don't expect something to happen that day, you know? It's always like, it's not like, okay, yeah,
Right.
that's gonna happen and this gonna happen. It's like, okay, like you can guess what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be something new, and it's always gonna be exciting.
As for me, well, I play volleyball, so I'm not in the running environment, but I would say similar to pasta parties, our team goes to like wing nights sometimes, senior night, and just with those away games, I really appreciate like exploring in a new school, like going to those
Yeah.
buildings, just like walking around, waiting for your game to start. I like those moments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think every student athlete at O'Neill has an experience just like ours that brought them a lot of joy or happiness or completion or
Mhm.
success. And that can all come from sports, but I think we also all learn a lot in losing or trying our best, I guess. I don't know. I think sports, there's just so many positives to sports.
Yeah.
But just, I don't know, just although that it comes at a cost of a lot more items on the plate, if you can manage your time well, and like Angie said, she has some great tips on time management from a fellow athlete as herself, and I think she's doing an amazing job with all of the things that she has to work through on a daily basis, including sports, is very admirable. And
Yeah.
yeah. So, Angie, if you have any closing thoughts or tips, advice, anything,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
The time is yours.
I don't know. I would just tell like, upcoming high school students that want to be athletes to really, really be ready, because for, like, the amount of homework, which, I mean, freshman year isn't terrible, but it's definitely a big change I felt from middle school. And I wasn't,
Yeah.
I'm not like a straight A student, but I'm not like a, fail every class. I'm like in the middle, especially freshman year. I was not really prepared, I guess, for what was to come. But, over the years, you really learn a lot about yourself, going through all these situations. And, I know this year I'm doing like really good because I've, been through those experiences and know what to expect really academic wise and like athletic wise. But
Yeah.
yeah, when it comes to like being an athlete, I feel like just try your hardest. Don't, slack, because you're not really going to improve if you want to be like a D1 athlete in college. And like you want to you want to go professional. Like, say you're a football player and you want to go professional, but you're not really trying during practice. Like, how are you going to really achieve that goal when you're not really trying? So a lot of things don't come easily in life, and I feel like high school is one that really teaches you that. So, but other than that, high school is pretty fun. You meet a lot of new people.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just a really good environment for some people. But yeah.
And I would just say one little quick thing, and then we can start wrapping this up. I would say that even if you're not planning to go D1 at a college, like me, I was in volleyball, but I never really expected to go D1. I think it's still a very fun experience to have in your high school years. And it's just something to try out. High school is the time to try new things, and I think a sport is a perfect way to accomplish that. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today. I think we really dove into the world of sports, and I hope all of our listeners today learned something new, some new advice maybe from one of your fellow classmates. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Angie, and we'll have another episode coming soon.
Yes.
But
we'll see. I don't know. The special guest has a tough job to follow up our wonderful special guest today. But yeah, so we'll see what our next episode has in store for all of our wonderful listeners out there. So I'm Davis.
I'm Isabel.
And this is I Wish I Knew.